Our very first speed trail. So gather and secure your items. We're about to take off. Everybody, welcome to the beautiful Everglades. Everglades is also known as the endless river of grass. The reason they call this location Vulture Island is for the simple fact that after 5 in the afternoon, there will be somewhere around 400 vultures in this one location alone.
Oh, I see him.
Right side of the boat, there's a couple vultures on the ground by them little trees right there. And then if you look up, you'll see 1 or 2 on the branches right here. Right side of the boat, look up and you can start seeing the vultures on your side.
Oh my god, it's a lot.
The water level is 6 feet or less. The majority of this location is about 3.5 feet deep.
Like, it didn't look that deep right here.
Right side. Open it just ate something, guys. I don't know what it was, but the way it launched, every time an alligator launches like that, it's because it's either getting ready to attack or going to attack. And it just ate something. Now left side of the boat, give me a second before I spin the boat around and show you the alligator again. Right side. This is the last time on the right side.
That one's swimming. You can feel it.
Before we started, I do have to ask everybody does remain seated through the whole show. We shouldn't have anybody up against class, okay? Now I work with every gator that you see in here. Each one of these guys does 1 or 2 shows a day. That way they can all take turns and get stressed or anything like that. Now the largest alligator we have in here is a big old huge guy sitting right there. He's the biggest one at 10 feet and like 400 pounds. Now unfortunately, I am not doing a show with him though because he's like 10 feet and like 400 pounds. Can't really make him do a whole lot, but I welcome him over here. We can talk about him for a second because he's so big and impressive. I'm going to bring his head up a little bit so you guys are able to see him. There he is. That's our big guy right there. Now, as you can see, he is famous for his blinding speed and aggression. He's a big old sweetheart. He's really not that bad. It's just at that size, he's so big, I can't really make him do anything. And try not to look so visibly disappointed he did not rip my arm off. Now, being a so big, a lot of people do ask how old is he, how old is that one or that one. Truth is, I have no idea. There's actually no way to tell the age of one just by simply looking. There's no external characteristics, size or measurement won't tell you. That's why we just simply cut in half, count the rings. Kidding, guys. Look, it is a live show full of bad jokes. You're working through the pain with me here. All right. Now, really, though, there is no way to tell their age. Their size depends upon diet and environmental factors, not on how old they are. So he could be 25, he could be 75. You'd have no idea by looking. And some records in captivity claim to have alligators over 100 years old, so they're very long-lived. Now, in here, we mainly feed these guys wild chicken, other kinds of meat, but in the wild, they're opportunistic hunters. They like to eat things like raccoons, turtles, fish, birds, and, of course, their favorite, tourists. Yay! I'm kidding, of course. Attacks on people are really rare. Everyone thinks they're out to get you, but if you just do the math, there's over 1 million gators out here. If they really want to eat people, you'd have people dying every day. And still, we get more people killed annually by vending machines and by alligators. Which is real. More people get angry, they can't get a candy bar, they shake the machine, it falls down and crushes the guy. More often people get killed by those things, which says everything you need to know about alligator aggressiveness and human intelligence.
Yay!
Now for your show, let's go ahead and grab a hold of one. And get one of the ones from over here on this side. Got a couple of them hanging out underneath here. Alright, so I'm trying to get this big guy right here, bring him back to the center for you guys to be able to see. Gotta move this one out of the way first. There you go. There we go.
Oh, baby. Oh.
Man, I gotta put you on a diet. Alright. Now, let's bring him back over here to the center. And normally when I carry over an alligator that bigger than I am, people clap cheers. Anybody out there? There we go. Now we're going to set him down right here in the sand. And let's take a look at these jaws. Now there are 80 teeth in there, guys. 40 on the top and 40 on the bottom. Now they can actually break the teeth off, grow them back, and cycle through several thousand teeth in a lifetime. Now that comes in handy because of how hard they bite. A large gator can bite down with an entire ton of force in that mouth, 2,000 pounds per square inch power. You all do not look impressed with that number. Think about it, 2,000 pounds. That's enough power in there to snap any bone in your weak, fragile human body and crush your skull like a potato chip. If you're not impressed by that, it's because you're on the wrong side of the glass. Now, even though they bite down so hard, you can actually hold the jaw shut with your bare hand, as you see me doing right now. All that power is for closing, right? Or for opening. So if you're ever about to be attacked by one, remember, you don't have to run away. Simply turn around, grab those jaws. You'll do great. I'm kidding, guys. You run for your life. Now, we have all these alligators in here for a reason, though. We're actually an alligator rescue, and these are all considered to be nuisance gators. Now, a nuisance gator is one that shows up in a backyard, swimming pool, he ate fluffy, stuff like that, right? Now, once he's somebody's dog, he'll send out a trapper to capture and kill the gator. Unless the dog's like a Pomeranian, I'll let that gator go. That's fine. Unfortunately, though, the state of Florida does kill several thousand nuisance gators a year, which is really sad. It's not his fault. It's usually a nuisance person that causes a problem, and by that I mean people that feed them. Once you feed him, he'll learn to associate you with food. You don't have food, you are the food. That's why it's going to a lot to feed them. Now, what we do in here, we do our shows with these nuisance gators instead of him being turned into a suitcase or a pair of boots, which you appreciate that, right, big guy? That's why we're considered an alligator rescue, because every gator that you see here would have sadly been destroyed if they were not here with us. Now, we're also very fortunate. We get to work with one of the only committed non-kill gator trappers around. I work under him and rescue these guys out of people's backyards myself. Actually, comfortable on somebody's front doorstep at 4 in the morning. Like, imagine going late for work early, sun's not up, open the front door, and surprise, he's on the welcome mat. It's literally what happened. So I was able to safely capture and rescue that gator. Now, again, I said the word rescue because if a different trapper shows up and just simply shoot the poor alligator. And the reason behind that is, as nuisance gator trappers, we don't get paid to catch a gator. The gator is the payment. Because the state of Florida, if they paid you money, they rip your arm off, you can sue for liability. So the state says we don't pay, we're not responsible. Your payment is the body of the gator. Thereby incentivizing the trapper to kill him and sell the meat in the hide. Now, me and the group that I work with are the only ones that don't have to work for free, so we volunteer our time unpaid to rescue my people's backyards and bring to sanctuaries like this instead of killing them for a profit. Now, the state of Florida does not allow the release or relocation of nuisance gators back out there due to their homing ability. And what that means, even if you took him 100 miles away and dropped him off, give him a month, and went after the same backyard he was caught from. They root their magnetic field to find their way. That's why they're recognized as such amazing navigators. Navigators. You okay? in a couple minutes, guys. Now, if you want to learn more about the rescue, what we do, and how we save them, check out the TV show we used to film here called Gator Boys and Animal Planet. I'm one of the guys who was on the TV show. Now, either wrestling is not like wrestling in a ring. I don't have a lot of bodies on them. It's actually techniques used by the native tribe of Florida, and one of their maneuvers was holding the jaw shut between your chin and your chest, allowing your hands to be free to take out a rope and then tie the jaw shut. Which sounds like a horrible, dangerous idea because it is, so I'm going to show you. Hold the jaws underneath my chin, makes a cool looking photo, and I give you a thumbs up out to the side. If it does go horribly wrong, switch your camera from photo to video. Alright, so here we go nice and carefully. Alright, thank you very much, guys. I appreciate the enthusiasm about half the audience. Thank you. Now, here's the biggest question we get all day long. Why are they all attacking me? Why aren't they more aggressive? How am I still alive? And why do y'all look so disappointed I'm still alive? Now, most of y'all are probably thinking, well, they must have just fed them, that must be why. And it literally could not be more dead wrong. Feeding them is the most dangerous part of the job. Feeding them does not make them calm and happy, it can create a feeding frenzy. When I feed these guys, it's the last thing I do for the day, and I go home, and open back at you because they're all going nuts. Now, if you're thinking, yeah, I feed my dog and he loves me, why wouldn't they be the same? Because does that look like your dog? He does not think you're acting like a dog, he sees you as the food. If you bring food with you, it means you bring a side dish with you. Okay? Now, when they first come from the wild, they are very defensive. He's going to try to kill me, so he thinks I'm going to kill him, and he's afraid of me, so he defends himself out of fear. Now, once they realize I'm not going to hurt them, we do an animal-friendly show, he's a lot more calm, relaxed, he tolerates a lot of this because he knows I'm not going to hurt him. Now, they also know that if any of them try to mess with me, I make that guy do the show instead. We're going there. I work with every one of them, and they know I'm the guy that does the show. That's why I'm walking around, I step next to them, they keep their heads down. They're like, don't pick me, bro. Now, that does not make them tame or trustworthy. If I were to trip and fall, my hand slips, or they think they can creep up behind you, they will. And at least once a day when I'm walking around in there, one of them will try to bite you in the leg. If you're not quick, you're not paying attention, he would rip your leg off, eat it in front of you, and not think twice to feel bad about it because he's an alligator, not a Labrador. There's never a bond, never a friendship. He's not my pet. It's never safe. I love him. He doesn't love me. And yes, they do bites. In fact, this guy did bite my old boss before. That's why he's my favorite. Now, right behind the eyes are the ears. They can seal off your ears, their nostrils, and the back of the throat. Although they live in the water, they don't breathe underwater, but they do hold their breath an amazing 6 hours at a time. Now, I've got one more trick I'm going to show you guys here. Before I do it, I want to say about myself real quick so you don't think I'm just some crazy redneck. I know how it looks. Actually, I have you guys who live in environmental cities, like Miami, so educated redneck, thank you. I work with all kinds of animals, not just gator. I also work with venomous snakes, I'm a shark diver, and I'm also active in research here in the Everglades. We only catch gators, crocs, and pythons as part of ongoing monitoring projects for the university. I actually have multiple academic publications in the world of invasive species biology. Don't look so surprised. Now, as much as I love the research and doing my part to help save the Everglades, those publications made me a whopping $0, which is why I risk life and limb for the entertainment of complete strangers running a job. Now, to capture this kind of job, it is obviously very dangerous, and due to the danger factor, I'm technically not an employee of the park, but I'm not on their assurance, so if he did rip off my hand, nobody's actually responsible, and I just get to get well some guard. But like, no, for real, that is literally the healthcare plan here. Due to liability, I am not an employee, I am a volunteer, so if he does rip off my hand, it's entirely on me. So if you do enjoy the show, have fun, learn about gators, and like the fact that we are a rescue that saves these guys, I greatly appreciate getting those my little tip jar / hand replacement fund at the end. And the last thing I'm going to say is don't try this on your own. I know I make it look real easy. I'm calm and comfortable in here, not because it's safe, but because I've handled gators since I was a little kid, and I'm what they call desensitized and mentally unstable. Don't try it on your own, guys. It takes one slip, you can lose life or limb. I feel very lucky I've never had a bad accident. I have had friends that did. I had one friend get bit in the hand during a show, gator shook, death rolled, snapped his arm in half. I had another friend get bit in the upper arm, gator death rolled, ripped the bicep muscle off the bone, ate the side of his arm, he almost died. Now, I don't say that to be dramatic. I'm not trying to scare you. I don't want you to be afraid of them. But I know I make it look so easy that people forget it's a powerful predator, so never try to approach them. Now, as you can see, they're not aggressive. They're not out to get you. They're not going to chase you down. But when people feed them, scream their half down and try to handle them, that's how people get hurt or killed. Leave them alone. They leave you alone. Now, I'm going to do my last trick with this guy to try to impress everybody. Our last trick is what we call the face-off, because if I mess it up, my face comes off. You can gotta have that morbid sense of humor out here, okay? I'm gonna open up the jaws and set my chin on the edge of the open jaw, balancing the jaws up with my chin, and if anything touches inside the mouth, boom, jaws slam shut. Let's open up those jaws. Alright, buddy. Gonna be nice, huh? Hold on, hold on. Easy, big fella.
Whoa there, big fella.
There we go. Alright. Alright guys, now most of the show is jokes, so you laugh, have a good time. This part is very dangerous, so before anyone wants some motivation, you guys enjoy the show?
Woo!
Alright, here we go, very carefully. Alright, so that, huh? Thank you very much, guys. See you soon, alligator.
He's like,
As you can see, it just gets up and he walks away. It's not your random African. Like I said, the show doesn't have anything like that. We're going to do now is we're going to take out our baby alligators. We're going to
that's so cute.